generalize, what should our national government, what should the federal government be doing more of, and then what should it be doing less of, or maybe not at all?
Well, when I look at, I can look at 4 or 5 things that we all agree the government should be. It has to defend us. The federal government has to defend us. Certainly, the federal government has to be involved in infrastructure projects, and not that we can't be creative with that and do some more public-private stuff, but right now we have about a $2 trillion deficit in roads and bridges and other things. That's a major issue because, especially as a cattle guy, a grain guy, I require infrastructure to move my products, and when the roads get bad, it's a problem. I would say that on energy policy, the government, that is the whole foundation, and actually I think in many respects the government policy has been flawed there. But I think generally on research...
I didn't know they had one, but... Yeah.
Well, I mean, they've got an energy department,
right.
Whether it's doing anything. I'm a big believer that the government needs to step in places like Center for Disease Control with Ebola and all the stuff that pandemics and out there. So there's some grants and research and development that our government has historically done, whether directly or indirectly, whether it's the internet, through the military, a lot of research even on agriculture. You look at this state, we're based on a lot of government infrastructure, whether it's public power, interstate highway system, irrigation, University of Nebraska, land grant, taxpayer subsidized. So some of those things I think we have to be very careful about pulling back. I don't think that we can make our country completely perfect and safe for everybody. I am worried that what I'm worried about right now is that everyone has their hand in the cookie jar. So when I heard these comments on 47%, yeah, you bet. There's a lot of folks that are receiving. But I'm also somewhat with Warren Buffett when he says that how is it that pretty wealthy people, including myself, really pay much, much lower tax rates than almost everyone else. Mitt Romney and Warren Buffett, I realize because they're invested in capital gains and so forth. But the fact is, I look at even my tax bill. I write of that $1.3 trillion, I'm accessing all sorts of goodies that, quite frankly, are now overcomplicating the tax system. And so, my view of government ought to simplify its tax system. I don't, we're going to have to raise the money, but I think to the degree we can make government smaller and more leaner, the better we are.